We are not going to stop the climate from changing, but we can come together to adapt and create justice as it changes. This is the most urgent and perhaps the most overwhelming task of our time. We are already living in a climate change Boston, and these changes are intensifying. Summer 2023 was the hottest on record, but this heat and humidity is not felt equally. Due to racism, Boston's black and brown neighbors live in neighborhoods where there's 20% less parkland, 40% less tree canopy, and a daytime temperature disparity that is 7.5 degrees hotter. Imagine instead a Boston where a network of urban parks replaces vacant lots from Mattapan to Dorchester to East Boston, capturing carbon and cooling the urban heat island. Tree canopy provides growing children and their grandparents and everyone in between access to fresh food, all neighbors living within blocks of green space. Imagine a more equitable, climate-resilient Boston. Boston Food Forest Coalition works at this intersection of racial justice and climate resilience, transforming vacant lots into green spaces, also known as food forest parks. We address the critical need for new green infrastructure rooted in community. For me, all of this began when I was living in Eggleston Square. Every morning on the way to the T, I would walk past a trash-strewn vacant lot, and I would talk to everybody that I met. Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué querías para este espacio? What do you want for this space? Together, we decided to clean it up, removing tires, old TV sets, car parts, nip bottles, hypodermic needles. A real stone soup effort. Without a budget, we planted apple trees, currant bushes, raspberries, grapevines, native flowers for butterflies and songbirds, a nature-based design. When a young man was shot and murdered in front of our growing community orchard, together with his friends and family, we planted a blueberry bush in his honor. A light bulb went off. I realized we are growing so much more than food here. We are growing relationships between neighbors of different languages, cultures, classes, and race. Resilience is knowing each other. But if we did not own the land, all this good work could be uprooted. So we came together to create a nonprofit community land trust to own the land together in perpetuity. We named it Boston Food Forest Coalition. And using this model, today the coalition has grown to over 11 sites and counting. So in my story, you just heard 4 key strategies. You just heard 4 key strategies working together synergistically. First, we partner with local leaders. Today, we are in 8 active conversations with community leaders ready to transform vacant lots into food forest parks. Community ownership. We buy the land from the city of Boston for $100, taking deed, ensuring it is owned by the community in perpetuity. Nature-based design. Research shows that urban forests and tree canopy, planted thoughtfully, can reduce temperatures in city neighborhoods by 10 degrees. Stewardship and education. The same local leaders who came together to design the park become its stewards, planning soup nights, potlucks, birthday parties, music festivals, and more. Boston Food Forest Coalition staff act as the backbone, ensuring a climate-resilient network of urban parks for generations to come. When we began in 2015, I was the unpaid executive director. Today, we are a team of 8, conserving over 130,000 square feet of urban land with over 60 dedicated volunteer stewards. This work reaches thousands more. And as the climate crisis worsens, we are growing. There is more interest and demand from local communities than we can respond to. There are over 200 parcels, vacant parcels owned by the city of Boston, not suited for commercial or real estate development, ready to be transformed. The opportunity is huge, but the limiting factor is people and financial resources. We need more capacity to expand the number of parks, support more stewards, and grow our board. Our plan is to build 3 food forest parks a year on the path to 30 food forests by 2030. We need multi-year funding partnerships at every level to join us on this growth trajectory. If we can double our budget to $2.6 million, we can triple our impact. The time is now. Community resilience is climate resilience. Please join us in creating a more equitable, climate-resilient Boston. Thank you.